Welcome to the Somatic Enneagram Podcast. Maybe you are interested in what the work of the Somatic Enneagram is, or what this work can do for you. Either way, we are excited to introduce for the first time on a podcast how the work of Marion Gilbert can change the way we live and move and are able to be in the world. I'm Aaron Maines.
And I'm Caryn Burley, and we're your co-hosts for this podcast. In this first season, we're talking about the Somatic Enneagram with our teacher and founder of the Somatic Enneagram, Marion Gilbert. In these conversations, we'll be exploring topics like how our type patterns started developing when we were very young, some key ways to help us loosen the grip our type structures have on us, and how to get in touch with the deeper wisdom that's embedded in the intelligence of our bodies.
One of the core teachings of the Somatic Enneagram is that for us to live as our whole selves, we need to gain access to all three centers: the head, the heart, and the belly. And for all of us, we find our patterns located in one of these centers. So in episode 6, we asked Marion to talk to us about what each of these centers looks like as they begin to include more than what their patterns are used to. Let's listen in.
Well, just because we're human beings, we are bound to learn to exclude and create an either-or world. So what I mean by that, we're always looking at two opposing forces, one that is wanted and the other one that isn't wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in your case, as a type 5, of course you want to, gather wisdom and knowledge, right? That is a want. I want that. That is going to give something that is going to ultimately make me safer.
Yes.
But that goes into the background because your focus on acquiring wisdom and, knowledge is allowing you to stay in your head, focused in your head, and you're learning that as soon as you go down below the neck, there is this cloudiness, this confusion, this stuff that's unclear and interfering and invasive almost. Yeah. So where it actually interferes with your clear thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You've learned how to push that down and to not want to feel that part of you below the neck because it is overwhelming you and your experience, even though you may not know that in the beginning when you are learning the Enneagram, is that if I am not clear, muddled, and incompetent, and, I get into this space of not knowing what's happening, I am experiencing overwhelm in my body. And that overwhelm in my body is going to potentially become a threat to my survival. For the heart center types, their orientation is in their heart and maintaining the relationship. Yeah, and there is, of course, a very nice description of the 2, 3, and 4 that are reaching out for connection and how they do 3 different ways, but they externalizing themselves. Yeah, they are pushing their hearts out there in order to not feel that initial hurt in their heart by somebody disconnecting from them, either rejecting, disapproving, or abandoning them. And especially if that happens at a young age, we are experiencing that we won't make it if that person is going to leave us. It's not just because we feel better when they're there because of the connection. Even if that person is not good enough in that department, we are attached to them. That is it's everything to do with the attachment theories. Yeah. You have to be sufficiently attached to something in order to feel safe when you're little and you can't take care of yourself. Yeah, that is necessary for your survival. And that is carried forward in the development and the ways that your feelings were heard, create overwhelm in the heart center, and that becomes something that's not wanted. So you're excluding it. And then the belly center, has its own version of that it feels that by being in the belly, generally, they are connected to their survival strategies and their ability to make their body do things in the world. And inadvertently, they are really understanding the need to belong as a very important thing. And that's an existential thing because from the human race perspective, we're operating in clans. And we do that because in clans, we are stronger than the one person that has to deal with not only the elements, but also the predators, right?
Right, right.
So we will be taken out. So if we are being extricated out of a group or out of a clan, all of a sudden we feel like, oh my God, I'm not going to survive this. Overwhelm comes into the belly and it begins to be afraid of losing their belonging to a clan and to a group. And they will do in 3 different ways everything they can to bring something to the table, a skill, a talent, a gift that they bring to the clan in order to come back in and be taken back up into a group or clan. Yeah, so they're beginning to exclude that overwhelm in their belly that has to do with who they are separate from a clan.
The Enneagram today, as most people know it, is a nice conversation about what types people are. If you're looking for more than that, if you're looking for a true way to work with your type, to hear from a deeper wisdom, to learn how to be contemplative and come into contact with the deepest parts of yourself, the Somatic Enneagram is the guide that has offered all of this to so many people all over the world through the work of Marion Gilbert.
We hope you're intrigued, so go ahead and like and subscribe to the Somatic Enneagram Podcast, and we look forward to a more embodied conversation.